Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're reacting to episode 4 of series 2 of Frieren. And if this date gets rushed, I'm going to be absolutely furious. I have been waiting all week to see this date and to squeal at how cute they are. I know it's probably only going to be like the first half of the episode, but still, I want them to like linger on it. I want to see this romance building. I want to see them giddy and nervous about their first love interaction, and oh, it's so freaking cute. I just love this show. I can't believe we're nearly halfway to the end of series 2 already. I'm still sad that it's only 10 episodes just because I love this show so much. I just want more and more and more. But I do have the manga. So I've really got into reading manga lately. I have started the first one, and then I have the second, third, and fourth. I actually got these two secondhand for like £8. I'm over the moon that I got these so cheap, but the artwork is absolutely stunning. And from what I've read so far from volume 1, it's so accurate, right down to the artistic style and the dialogue. Like, there's very few changes between. I'm not that far into volume 1 though. I'm only like, where did I get? I got to chapter 2. So I'm not like super far into it. So I imagine there are going to be changes, but from what I've seen, there isn't really any, which is phenomenal. The artwork is absolutely stunning. I love the way that Frieren is drawn. She's just gorgeous. And Himmel is even more attractive in the manga than he is in the show. But yeah, the manga is really enjoyable so far. I, again, have suddenly really got into reading manga. So I have the first 4 volumes of Frieren. I have just had delivered, which is downstairs, so I'm not gonna go get it, the entire collection of Death Note, so all the volumes of Death Note, which I got secondhand for like £56, which I think is really good. I have the first 9 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist, which I got for £15, again secondhand. And what other manga did I get? I got all of Monster. I haven't started Monster yet. I'm going to be watching Monster after Full Metal Alchemist. Brotherhood is finished, but I did buy all 9 volumes of the manga. But from what I know of the anime being like this psychological thriller, and it involves like a serial killer, and I love like serial killer documentaries and true crime, I feel like the manga is going to be something I really enjoy. So I did get all 9 volumes of the manga because I got a really good deal on them. And I also wanted to read the Death Note manga. I've been dying to read it because I really enjoyed the series up until episode 25. And then afterwards, it was just so incredibly rushed. So I actually want to see how the story plays out in the manga and how it compares in contrast. And yeah, I just have found myself really going down this rabbit hole of manga now. I've been curious as to whether I should do manga reacts as well, but I don't quite know how that would work. So if anyone has any ideas as to how I would do a manga react, I don't know. But I think it would be quite interesting to delve into maybe One Piece manga reacts instead of the show, because the show is so long, I'm never going to get through it. But I probably would get through the manga quicker because I'm a fast reader. I don't know, but maybe if it's something you guys want to see, we'll try and figure out how we can get a react going for manga too. But I am enjoying the Frieren manga. I don't know if I will be able to hold off is my concern. I feel like when series 2 ends, I'm probably going to want to continue reading, so I may continue reading. I don't think that's going to ruin my reacts because I read the manga, but it would be interesting to see how like the show kind of differs to the manga, maybe. I might have more insight in being able to directly like compare and contrast, whereas usually I watch the show and then I read the manga. With Death Note, I can read the entire manga. With Full Metal Alchemist, I'll be able to read the entire manga. But with Frieren, because it's ongoing, I would likely have to wait years to be able to read the manga because the show is still like a recent ongoing one. So I don't know. I've kind of been toying with this idea of like, why should I hold myself back from reading something of a show that I'm really invested in just because it might give me some future insight into how the story is going to go. I feel like that's kind of like punishing myself. It's kind of the same way I feel with Apothecary Diaries. Apothecary Diaries is coming to an end. I've the first 4 light novels, which is series 1 and series 2. But I'm kind of like, there's 15 light novels. The show's going to be ongoing for years. Having to wait years at a time to watch something when I can also read it, it kind of feels a little silly to not read something because I'm waiting for the show to come out. Maybe that's just personally how I feel. I know some people might be like, oh, but you're going into the reacts with some prior knowledge, blah, 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 it ruins it. But at the same time, who's to say that I'm still going to be doing this in 5 years' time? And who's to say that me reading the manga doesn't offer some direct comparison and contrast with the show in a way that those who haven't read the manga can't necessarily provide? I don't know. I feel like depriving myself is kind of not fair when it could be years before we get like series 3, or it could be years before we get another series of Apothecary Diaries. So I'm kind of just toying with this idea of like reading what I want to read, and if it gives me future insight into the story, it gives me future insight into the story. It's not going to undermine my reacts in any way. It's not going to ruin my engagement with the show. It's not going to spoil the show because again, there's differences between the manga and the anime. There's creative license, but we'll see. I might not. I might, but I will always let you guys know if I do read ahead or if I intend to read ahead. But as of right now, I'm not reading ahead because I don't want to spoil series 3 for myself because it's out in October of this year. But with Frieren, I may read ahead with the manga. I don't know. But without further ado, let's get into episode 4. Oh, there's 2 birds, and we're going to have a date of 2 people. Oh. She's like, which one?
どっちがいいと思いますか？どれでも同じだよ。
She has to look her best.
謝るから怒りに任せて
She's like, you're hurting. She's also like tying them under her chin. She's crying in the background. The braids are really cute. Oh, she looks so adorable. I love the shoes. She got all dressed up and Stark didn't. Stark looks the exact same. But she's so giddy and excited. She got dressed up. She looks so pretty. Oh, they're so awkward and nervous with each other. Oh, because it's a date, Stark. She wanted to impress. Oh, young love. There's nothing like first date nerves where you just quite don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to look at you because you're so cute and I'm recognizing my feelings for you. Oh.
それでどこに行くんですか？
市場があるみたいだから行ってみようぜ。ああ、大きな町の市場だと珍しい魔道具があることもある。
They're on a date and they're still talking about Frieren. She's literally me with anything. I'm like, look at the goodies I bought.
この前は魔道具に埋もれて眠っていました。
そこまで行くとちょっと怖いね。
How is she gonna take all this with her?
だよな。ここのところ毎日だったもんな。
She's taking advantage.
髪の毛をアップにもしませんでしたし。ああ、しみる。
I love the braids. She's gonna have like curly hair, isn't she?
やっぱりフリーレン様の話になってしまいますね。
I said that.
まあ他に話題もないしな。
Yes, there is. Stark, you're going to ruin this date. They're gonna get to know each other more, aren't they? They have to. Oh, she looks so cute.
これカップル割引だそうです。
デートってお得なんだな。
身も蓋もありませんね。
しかし結構普通のものばかりだな。
魔道具みたいなのばかりだったら驚きですよ。
それもそうだな。
いいね。お姉さんこれください。
あいよ、毎度あり。
Oh, it was what she was looking at
そろそろお腹空い
too.
たろ。あっちに美味しそうな屋台があったぜ。
She's like, why couldn't he do that for me? Because he doesn't know. He's so like unsure of how to behave.
おっと大丈夫か？
すみません。
He's being a gentleman.
確かにその靴歩きにくそうだな。
Stark, stop being blunt. Compliment her. Oh, that looks so good. I've had Japanese pancakes before. So nice.
ヒンメル様の像ってどの町にもありますね。
この街でのポーズもかっこよかったな。
I love that Stark recognizes how Himmel was really handsome, but also like Kraft in series one. He complimented him quite a few times.
結局またフリーレン様の話になってしまいました。
Oh, come on. You need to have like a moment to talk about your own things with each other. That's not just Frieren and Himmel.
景色も綺麗ですし、
もしかしてあまり楽しくなかった？
そんなことないですよ。
I don't think it was what she expected.
シュタルク様らしくなかったです。
Because it's not. Because Frieren showed him.
デートだったのに。
She wanted to get to know you.
実はフリーレンに選んでもらったんだ。
He didn't want to disappoint. He wanted you to be happy.
もうフェルンに喜んでほしかったんだ。せっかくのデートだから。
Oh, he's so
確
cute.
かに今日は少し残念に思いました。でもとても嬉しいです。私のために必死に考えてくれたんですね。
He showed that he cared. He wanted to impress her. Hold hands. Hold hands. Reach across the branch. Hold
す
hands.
ごく穏やかな
Please.
時間ですね。さっき食べた肉まんです。
俺も思ってた。
They're
なんだか不思
finally
議です。
bonding outside of talking about Frieren.
こんなのんびりできるようになるとは思っていませんでした。
She's opening up to him.
ハイター様のおかげですね。
俺だって師匠のおかげだ。
See? They can relate. They're both raised by former members of the Party of Heroes as young
好
children.
き嫌いをしていては強い戦士にはなれんぞ。
They have more in common than they realize. Both of them are essentially orphans of the war.
なんで俺なんか拾ってくれたんだ。
勇者ヒンメルならそう
Oh no! Haita said the same thing about taking fun in. I can't cry. I refuse.
なんだか機嫌がいいみたいだね。
Are they having a
いいことあ
debrief?
ったの？別に。
参ったね。
Is this the date where they were looking for the cat?
ヒンメル、どうして笑っているの？
That we were like, that's not a date, but it was a date.
機嫌がいいんだ。今日はいい一日だったからね。
朝から二人して迷子の猫を
But he
探
got
し
to
て歩
spend
き回
time
った
with
時じゃん。
you.
そうだね。でも僕は
It
君と
was
二人
actually
で
a
出かけて
date.
楽しかった。
猫が見つかってないのに。
That wasn't
期
the
待した通
point.
りに育ってその過程が楽しければいい。
I'm tearing.
よし。ハイターたちに先を越される前にもう一踏ん張りしよう。
The cat!
お
いたよヒンメル。
間違いない。捕まえるぞ。
Oh! The show! The show! And she has the braids
また
again.
三つ編みになってる。
Such a cute style.
機嫌がいい時の三つ編みだよ。
それがわかんない。
どう決まってるでしょ。
She does.
本当に一番わ
Stark,
かんない
you need to learn how to compliment a woman. For God's sake, Stark.
しばらくはまともな補給ができないと思うから。
Stock up while you
必要な
can.
物資を揃えようか。
そのカバン見た目よりたくさん入るんだな。
便利でしょ。
Magic. Frieren's quite strong because she lugs it everywhere. She even lugged it all the way up to that hot spring in the
一級魔
mountains.
法使いフェルン様ですね。
Oh, we're
す
going.
ごいんだな。
一級魔法使いは魔法使いの最高峰だからね。
Are we gonna run into another demon this episode? Because they're in the Northern Plateau?
なんだか
Maybe.
危険って言われていた割には普通の場所だな。
Famous last words, Stark. That's foreshadowing if I've ever seen one. They're gonna run into something.
気を引き締めた。
What? They were so sneaky. Crazy. It's just gonna be non-stop, isn't it? What the fuck? Like one monster after another, after another, after another. Oh, that's such a cool design. Stark, what is it with you and snakes? Snakes love Stark. There's just no rest. It's just non-stop. She did say that it was like dangerous and non-stop dangerous.
死ぬかと思ったぜ。
This is why you need a first-class mage.
実はこの先の街道に強力な魔物が出るようになってしまいまして、自治を担っている騎士団などでは歯が立たず、
It's a demon.
行商人も来れぬようになってしまったのです。
That music
こ
only
の
ever
通り
plays
冒
when
険
it's
者
a
もめったに
demon.
訪れぬ土地。
ついでに討伐しておくよ。それでいいよね。はい。
こんな危険な場所で暮らす必要はねえんじゃねえか？
But this is his home. Why should he have to abandon it?
確かにここは北側諸国でも危険な土地
He
で
was
す。
born and raised here.
ですが、私たちはここで生まれ育っ
Yeah.
たのです。この土地には家族との思い出がたくさん詰まっています。
It's the importance of memory and
誰が故
heritage.
郷を捨てられましょうか。
It means something. Oh, fuck. That's ominous. Is it a demon? It kind of looks like one, but it might not be. Damn, that's a big ass sword.
これは例の魔物か。油断しないようにね。
Well, she didn't call it a demon, so it mustn't be. Whoa! God, it's fast. That's like the type of sword I have in Elden Ring. Big bonk
なかなか厄介そう
weapon.
な相手だね。
Oh! I was not expecting that.
今までのやり方が通じる相手じゃないよ。
It's
そ
crafty.
のようですね。
Whoa, fun. He's like, not on my watch. They're defending and protecting each other.
気づかれたか。
She's like, and what? Oh, the music, so good.
と役だな。けどそれなら俺だって。
Look how confident he is. Usually he's so scared and wants to run away, but he's like, nah, I've got this. Frieren, holy fuck. And Fern's protecting him. Oh! They have each other's back.
まだ北部高原の入り口だから
Yeah.
ね。
So what else is going to be waiting for
これから山ほど
them?
相手にすることになるよ。
Oof.
なあフリーレン。
But you did it. You overcome
これ
it
ならやっぱ
together.
りカイロでもよかったんじゃねえか。
But you wouldn't be following in the footsteps of Eisen, Heiter, and Himmel if you didn't.
死ぬかと思いました。
こんな危険な場所なら
Oh my
回避
god.
すればよかったのに。
She said the same thing.
北部高原にもたくさんの人が住んでいる。
Mm.
僕は自分の故郷を守りたくて勇者になったからね。他の誰かの故郷も守りたいんだ。
That's why they're traveling this path.
ルク、北部高原の
Oh,
故郷の人だってたくさんいるんだよ。
we travel this path to help them. Oh,
確かにそうだな。
彼はシュタルクの捨て身の頑張りでなんとかなったけれど、今後はパーティーとしての連携をもっと意識していかないとだね。ところでシュタルクはどうして座ったままなの？
his legs have given out.
別に座ってるわけじゃないぜ。腰が。仕方ないだろ。
It
死
was
ぬかと思
scary.
ったぜ。あんなとんでもない魔法。
Fucking hate that this show gets me every single time. If I could have another episode where I don't cry, that would be great. I genuinely thought I was going to make it through without crying. Even though Himmel showed up, I was like, okay, I'm not going to cry. And then it showed Stark's brother and them together and his understanding that they're doing this for other people. That it's not because they believe this path is easier, but because it helps those in need. Just like his brother helped him when he was in need, his brother sent him away to protect him. He died to protect someone in need. He died to defend those who were more vulnerable than him. And that's what they're doing here. They're risking their lives for those that are in need so that they can continue to reside in their homeland where they have connection and memory and heritage. But it's Stark understanding the importance of that because he was forced to leave his home by a demon attack, that his brother bought him time so that he could escape and continue to live another day. And he understands that sacrifice and what it means to prevent other people from being forced to do the same. He is their shield. He is preventing them from having to suffer what he suffered. He had to lose those that he cared about. He had to become an orphan and depend on Eisen taking him in when there was no guarantee that anyone would take him in. He was just a child wandering through the wilderness with nowhere to go. And Eisen recognized in him that this was a child in need, and what would Himmel do? Himmel would take him in, much in the same way that Heiter recognized that Himmel would take Fana in, because Himmel was also an orphan. He knows what it's like to not have a family. I think Heiter was too. They were raised in the orphanage in a village together, I believe. So they understand what it's like to not have a family, to not have anyone to depend upon, to be lonely and scared and isolated. And the fact that we even saw Fan opening up, that she never thought she would be able to ever relax and find peace as an orphan of war. And then we see what Eisen says to Stark when he asks, why did you take me in? They're both very alike. They can bond over the fact that they were raised by members of the Party of Heroes, that they were both orphans, that they were both forced out of their homes by conflict. They're now making the difference in that they are preventing other people from suffering what they went through. They are ensuring that these people can stay in their home, that they can stay in the land that they are connected to, where their families have descended from. They will never have to suffer what Stark and Fern and Frieren have suffered, where they've not had a home to go back to, where they've been forced out of it by demons, by war, by conflict. They're the shields. That's why they didn't take the easy route, because the difficult route is what's helping those in need, and it's what Himmel would do. And just the fact that his legacy is so carved into the story, that his friends try to live up to him, try to emulate him, that even now Frieren continues to do what Himmel would do, that it's lessons she passes on to Stark and Fern. His legacy is undying. He will be remembered by everyone, whether they know that it was Himmel directly or not. His lessons are still passed on. His legacy remains in everything that Frieren is teaching Stark and Fern, because it is learnt from Himmel himself. So whether they know it's from Himmel directly or not, his legacy is continuous. All these people being helped, all these people being saved from suffering the devastation of war and conflict because of Himmel, because of his legacy, because of what his life and death meant to those that loved and cared about him most. Oh, that date was so freaking cute. Stark, you've got to forgive him because he's so young and this is his first date and he doesn't know how to act, but there were so many areas that it was just like, oh my god, Stark, you're like missing out on the most crucial opportunity here. Like, he could have bought the necklace, he could have complimented her shoes, he could have held her hand to stop her from like tripping over. He just seemed to like fail at every single corner, but he has no idea of how a date should be, and he doesn't quite know how to act with her, especially when he recognizes how cute she looks, and then he starts to be really awkward because he's like, I don't know how to behave now, which makes complete sense because they're so young. And Fern has this idea of like what she wants the date to be, whereas Stark was just so worried about not being able to make her happy that he just did everything that Frieren told him to do rather than showing his own personality and his own interest in her. They again kept talking about Frieren almost as if they didn't really have anything else to discuss, kept bringing up Frieren, and he didn't even dress up or really recognize outwardly to Fern. Of course, he was like, does she always look this cute? But he didn't tell her that. And that's the important thing. He didn't compliment her. He made her feel almost silly for getting dressed up for the date. And yeah, he could have made a little bit more of an effort when she did, especially because it's a date. But hopefully he has learned. He still nailed it in the end when he admitted to her that he was so worried about her being unhappy that he just did everything that Frieren told him to do because he wanted to impress her so badly. And I think for Fern, that made her realize like just how much he does care, because he wouldn't have gone through all of this, wouldn't have nagged Frieren to tell him everything that Fern likes if he didn't really like Fern. It was the thought that counts, even if he didn't execute it quite the way that Fern wanted him to, and he still failed in certain aspects. His admission and his honesty and their little bonding moment on the bench where they're able to let their guard down and talk to one another in a way that they hadn't been earlier because of Stark's nerves and wanting to make sure that she was enjoying herself, like he was rushing her through like certain areas. They finally let their guard down, and oh, it was so freaking cute. But you know, the first date is never perfect. It's always awkward. You're getting to know someone in a more romantic intention. Sometimes when you go on a first date, you don't know the person beforehand. And if you do go on a first date with someone that you do know, it's not the same as like hanging out with them on like a friendly basis, because there's a romantic undertone there. They're also so young that it's hard for them to not be weird around each other, but it was so freaking cute, and I'm just glad that they got to have a happy, fun moment with each other that she was able to understand that, yes, it may not have gone the way that she wanted it to, but it was because he was so nervous and so desperate to please her that he didn't really think about how it would come across, that he wasn't really focusing on her and what she wanted in the moment. He was more focused on making the day enjoyable. But again, it's the thought that counts, and they're just so freaking cute with each other. But yeah, another amazing episode. More tears, so I'm expecting further tears again in subsequent ones. What I do love as well is that we see just how difficult the North is going to be. Because up until now, they have been very quick in defeating their rivals. They don't necessarily have much trouble. Whereas now we're seeing that they can't just go in with their usual tactics. Frieren went up above, it's what she usually does, and aims from the sky. And this monster clicked on so fast, and it even caught Frieren off guard. It also was breaking through their protective defenses. They can't just rely on their previous methods. They need to work more efficiently together as a team, which is what Frieren acknowledged. But I think this is a really good wake-up call for them of what to expect, of what monsters they're going to face in the North. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's like nothing they've ever seen before. And they really drove it home with that big monster because he was so fast. He seemed to recognize what they were doing. He clicked on really quick to their different tactics, their different defense mechanisms. He wasn't letting his guard down. It took them a while to take him down. So yeah, if this is only the beginning of the monsters they're going to face, because they're still at the entrance of the Northern Plateau, it's going to be very intriguing when they do eventually come across some demons here, because they will be battle ready and honed and waiting and hungry for humans. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye!